What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JJD TV. I'm your host, Josh. I did not have a heart attack. I was very close. That was a classic Dortmund game. Any of you guys who's followed this club for the last, 5 years would know that these kind of games happen all the time where we just play with the emotions of us Dortmund fans, and they did it, man. I thought when it was 2-2, this game was done, set, match. But we found a way. We found a way to make it work, and it was absolutely fantastic. So we're here today to do our 5 takeaways. I cannot wait to see what you guys do for your 5 takeaways. Even though we won, man, this 5 takeaways are going to be all over the place with good points, bad points. It's a little bit everywhere because this game, in my opinion, got a little bit lucky, and there was a huge turning point. And I'm going to start with that right now. So we were up 2-0. My first takeaway will be the De Hood substitution. We were up 2-0. We're playing in the 4-2-3-1, which is a formation I don't think matches this Leipzig game anyways. I think, or even if it did and we got the 2-0 lead, we should have reverted back to the 4-3-2-1, more defensive, another man in the midfield because they ripped us apart on the comeback trail. And that substitution for me would have been Delaney for Gio. Gio was very quiet in the game, relatively ineffective, and that way, because when those kind of games happen to Gio, you rip him off, you throw on Delaney, you plug up that midfield, I think the game would have been different. He did the wrong substitution. He took off De Hood, which completely changed our midfield, putting on Delaney. We looked very vulnerable, very open. That relaxation that De Hood brings to the midfield was completely gone, and they came back on the trail and made it 2-2. So I thought that was a huge mistake by Terzic. That's just my opinion. I think he should have definitely switched up shape to a little bit more defensive because we were sitting back regardless. And I seem to be right because it did kind of cost us in the fact that the game wasn't as easy as it should have been at that point. My second takeaway has to go right into the biggest positive, which is Jaden Sancho, who, during the watch along, if you're with me, I said he hasn't been as involved as I thought he would have wanted to be. I think usually when Sancho's at his best, he has a lot of the ball. He's very influential. He's working with Guerrero. I thought for a lot of spells in this game, he was very quiet, made some of the wrong decisions from time to time, but he's absolutely clutch. He's clutch in the fact that he put up 2 massive goals when it was needed to do so. And you got to give him huge credit because it wasn't the most comfortable game for him. Leipzig is a tough team to break down. But when he needed to, when he had to have that composure, that just raw talent, he did it. And he did it to an absolute T on 2 massive occasions. And it got us the 3-2 win. He deserves huge praise. I cannot stress it enough. Third takeaway we go into is the Hitz injury. And a lot of you guys in the chat throughout the watch along were saying, typical Berkey. I'm going to defend Berkey. I think it sucked that Hitz went out. I didn't like Berkey's attitude before warming up. It didn't look like he was involved. Didn't look like he cared. But in my opinion, when he came in, he was very commanding. He did a good job. And yes, he let in 2 goals. But if you watch both goals, I can't blame Berkey whatsoever. I thought the header was a great glancing header. Klosterman beat Hummels naturally. I blame Hummels on that one. And then the second one again. Walked through Hummels like he wasn't there. Put it in the back onto a tee up Olmo. And it was 2-2. That's not Berkey's fault. Berkey did fine. But I do think his attitude before the game I did not like. I did like his attitude in the game, and I hope Hitz is okay coming into our big cup game, because I still think Hitz has got to start. I don't know if Berkey's all there for the remainder of this season, but that was a big turning point. It definitely threw off the team a little bit, which kind of sucked. Going into our fourth takeaway is that we got it done, man. We got it done. It was 2-2. The chat was devastated. I was devastated. This game means everything. The pressure is right back on Frankfurt. And they're taking on a very challenging Mainz side who took out Bayern the other week. They're in good form. They're fighting for their lives in relegation. They are in a little bit more comfortable position. But if they go into this game against Frankfurt and put up any type of result, even a draw, we're sitting pretty because of this massive game, man. So huge credit to them. And hopefully Mainz can do that kind of behavior against Frankfurt and put us in a massive decision. But the biggest thing is that we got it done in the last 10 minutes or so. Typical Dortmund style, last-second goals coming up, and we did it, man. We absolutely did it. It was lights out performance, and it was too sketchy of a game for me. But all in all, the boys found a way. They found a way in this late push in the season. This was a massive game, and we got it done. Which leads into my fifth and final takeaway. Is once again we did it without Haaland. Now I don't know what's going to happen in the cup final. I have a feeling Haaland will play, but if he doesn't, we've shown that we can do it with a false 9. We did it well. A few tactical decisions, in my opinion, is the reason the game didn't go as smoothly as we wanted. The biggest talking point, in my opinion, was the substitution to De Hood. But we found a way to make that combination of honestly Hazard, Royce, and Sancho work. I think Hazard did a good job. He didn't get the full 90 minutes, as we know, because of obviously injuries, and he got brought off. But this is another big thing, because I've pretty much ripped on anyone who wasn't Haaland playing in that striker slash false nine role, and Brandt did a wonderful job. He came on, he was demanding, he was controlling on the ball, and he had a huge influence into the chances we had late in the game as well as the goals. So whether it was Brandt or Hazard in that game for the false nine, they shut me up a little bit, and that's good because if Haaland isn't available for games, hopefully they can step up when it's needed. So massive, massive game there. Those are my 5 takeaways, guys. Let me know what your 5 takeaways are. Huge game, one of the most nerve-wracking games I've ever been a part of, and it was also a huge victory because it's producer T's birthday today, so be sure to drop him a happy birthday in the chat. This is a intense game for his birthday. I mean, he's 25, but I feel like he probably feels like he's 55 right now with that result. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. We'll be over live on Dortmund's Twitch probably by the time you see this video, so if you want to join us over on Dortmund's Twitch, you can for the review, as well as we just answer questions from you guys. So huge performance. We're still in a top 4 race, and we're going to be having a lot of fun this week with the cup final coming up, guys. So if you're new around here, be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and we will see you next time.